Please give her a round of applause. Give her, give her, give her, give her. I recall when I tried to learn how to play the trumpet. You know, I hear you have to eat a lot before you can play. Unfortunately, you know, where I was coming from, there was not enough food there. So, it's when you are satisfied, that's when you go and play trumpet. Unfortunately, it didn't work like that. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be listening to the Right Honorable Speaker, but before that, we'll do some quick, brief solidarity messages, and the first on the list will be the co-chair of the National Steering Committee, Mrs. Mary Ada. Please, let's give her a round of applause.
Good morning, Right Honorable Speaker. Let me acknowledge the leadership of Parliament and also stand on existing protocol as has been done. And like the Honorable Majority Leader said, I don't want to leave anyone here out. We are all equally very important. Good morning again to you. I just wanted to acknowledge first the Honorable Speaker for the great job you have done in the Parliament of Ghana since you took over as Speaker. I believe he deserves a great round of applause for that. Before I read the statement here, I had to say that because fighting corruption is a very lonely job to do. You do not have support, and so when you have stalwarts like him in the forefront, promoting accountability, transparency, and citizens' participation, then he needs commendation, and we want to put that on record. On behalf of the National OGP Steering Committee, which I co-chair with the Minister of Public Sector Reforms, who is on my left-hand side, my own sister, Honorable Lydia, and on my own behalf, and on behalf of the civil society aspect of the steering committee, again, let me say that the National Steering Committee is made up of civil society and government in equal measure. That is what the OGP stands for, that we need to collaborate. We need to foster linkages. We need to work together to ensure that we promote the three key pillars, and there is a fourth one, of transparency, of accountability, of citizens' participation, and then in all of that, we're utilizing technology to ensure it happens. And that is why I'm particularly excited this morning that Parliament is doing some of those great things to ensure citizens also know exactly what is happening around here in these great walls. And we are very much appreciative of that. We want to say thank you on behalf of I see some of my colleagues on the steering committee here, Michael from CDD. I see our national country point of contact, who is also here, who works with the Public Sector Reform Secretariat, Madam Telma Ohinie Siama. Please, shall we give it up for her? She's the one who tries as much as she can to mobilize each and every one of us in this very difficult journey that we are pursuing. And so, Mr. Speaker, your commitment to openness demonstrated through initiatives like the Citizens Bureau, through initiatives like bringing together a parliamentary caucus on OGP. And I must say again and emphasize that when we were in Kenya in March, we were really recognized. And for Prof and others who were there, everybody was excited about Ghana's example. I must, however, say that sometimes we show those examples and then we do not continue with them. And so it is our humble plea this morning that we would not just be showing the caucus as an example, but then we will not follow it through. So this is very critical for us, that as we go to Spain in September, we will continue to show that agenda of togetherness, where both the minority and majority in Parliament are working to pursue the agenda of ensuring that the citizens of Ghana are end beneficiaries of what we are all doing to promote open governance. And before I end, I'll mention some people's names as well. The OGP Action Plan is a multi-stakeholder process which brings together citizens, the government, and also each and every one of us here. And we see increasingly that all arms of government are interested. And I want to say that Parliament has done a good job in this space, and they've represented also on the National Steering Committee. Honorable Bejra mentioned the efforts he has made, and also the efforts of Honorable Amapuma, who have served on the National Steering Committee over the years, and they just do not represent, they are very active members of the Steering Committee. We hope that this will reflect in their dealings as well in the Parliament of Ghana in bringing others on board. As the SDG agenda says, we should leave no one behind. We want to see everybody brought on board. In the space where trust has become a critical issue, open governance certainly then becomes the disinfectant we all need to ensuring that the people of Ghana begin to trust us again. The trust deficit can only be breached if we open up and let everybody know that the things we are talking about are indeed those we live. And so on this occasion where we have a steering committee being inaugurated, we would want to see the reflection of civil society. I don't know who is on it, I was just asking Sami. We would want to see a reflection of civil society and Parliament in equal measures working together to open up Parliament, to ensure that you put up critical commitments. And I must say again that in the National Action Plan, the commitments of Parliament are well stated. And so this is double portion. We get some of the things you've already done, and that's commendable. Launching alone gives us an opportunity to do so. Civil society remains committed, I must say, not just to observing what you are doing, but also being part of this process. And so if you need us at any time, please just remember that we are a call away. Remember that we are a part of this, because the narrative of the Open Government Initiative, which was signed in 2011 by the past president, Professor Atta Mills, would not be told completely if we all do not show that we really mean this. Let me say that as we remain committed, our eyes shall also be on Parliament to ensure that we are not just being transparent. Transparency is one of the pillars of OGP. The issue of accountability is also very critical. And so we cannot just say we are promoting transparency while the answerability part of it is not there. Who are we? We have a representational duty to perform to our citizens. And so civil society will support in that drive as well to ensure that we are answering to the people who brought us here, but also answering by holding others who you are supposed to hold accountable for their stewardship. On that note, Mr. Speaker, the Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, we would want to say that we are behind you. We solidly support you as civil society, and we would be there for you each and every time. Congratulations on a great feat. I must say others have taken the lead, but I'm very sure we would overtake them because we have speed and we are committed and the plans have been made. Honorable Bejra and your colleagues who are in the caucus, we are ready for you. And so for us in Transparency International, we are already pushing that agenda, that you must understand what it means when we talk about OGP. Because we are talking about transparency, accountability, participation, and using technology. So we are already calling on you to have some debriefer and also capacity enhancing trainings with you to ensure that we are able to walk this journey prepared and equipped. On that note, we say thank you very much.
Thank you. Please, you can do better than that, especially when she has assured the speaker that, Mr. Speaker, we are behind you. Indeed, when you look at her height and she tells you that she is behind Mr. Speaker, you can actually understand. Mr. Speaker, you are covered. Ladies and gentlemen, next to give us a brief solidarity message is the Minister responsible for Public Sector Reform, the Honorable Lydia Lamisia Kariva. Let's give her.
Thank you very much, MC. Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, where I am coming from, when you are dealing with an elderly person and with his capacity, you don't mention his full name. So I will leave it there and just say, Father, oh, Father. The majority leader and minority leaders, chairman of the OGP caucus in Parliament, Honorable Emmanuel Bejura, colleague members of Parliament, the Clerk of Parliament, directors and staff of the Parliamentary Service, esteemed civil society organizations present here, chiefs and queen mothers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. If you don't respond, I won't continue. Good morning. On behalf of the Open Government Partnership National Steering Committee of Ghana, it is with immense humility and solidarity that I extend my heartfelt congratulations to the Parliament of Ghana on the historic launch of the Open Parliament Action Plan and the commemoration of this very important international day in our country. This significant milestone underscores Ghana's unwavering dedication to fostering a transparent, accountable, and inclusive democracy. The co-creation of this action plan through meaningful collaboration between Parliament, civil society, and stakeholders exemplifies the spirit of OGP and set a powerful example of how legislative openness can strengthen the public trust and empower citizens. By prioritizing accessible legislative process and robust civic engagement, this plan paves the way for a parliament that truly reflects the aspiration of the Ghanaian people. Right Honorable Speaker, as the chair of the OGP National Steering Committee, I affirm our steadfast commitment to supporting the implementation of this transformative action plan. We stand ready to work alongside Parliament, civil society, and all partners to ensure commitment that has been outlined, whether enhancing access to legislative information, promoting public participation, or strengthening accountability. We are fully there for you so that we can realize this plan or this agenda. Together, Right Honorable Speaker, we can make Ghana's parliament a beacon of openness and a model for the region and the world at large. It is worth noting, Right Honorable Speaker, that the independent reporting mechanism, IRP, of the Open Government Partnership Support Unit, in its 2023 to 2027 action plan, reviewed, recognized the Open Parliament commitment within Ghana's 5th OGP National Action Plan as one of the two most promising commitments among the other 15 for delivering transformative open government outcomes. The IRP noted, Right Honorable Speaker, and I quote, "This commitment set out clear, targeted activities addressing critical policy areas and, if fully implemented, could drive substantial changes in practice, policies, and institutions to advance open government." I see this opportunity to urge Parliament to prioritize the robust implementation of this action plan, particularly the Open Parliament commitment within Ghana's 5th Open Government Partnership National Action Plan for 2024 to 2028. Right Honorable Speaker, by so doing, the Parliament of Ghana can continue to shine as a regional and global beacon of transparency and accountable governance. I express my deepest gratitude to the leadership of Parliament of Ghana, civil society, our chiefs and queen mothers, and even the citizens whose tireless efforts have brought this vision to life. Let us continue this collaborative journey to build a more open, responsive, and accountable democracy that serves every Ghanaian. Right Honorable Speaker, on this note, I want to assure you that we are all in support of your transparency with the issue that we are always there.
Thank you very much, Honorable Lydia. We will be hearing from the Right Honorable Speaker. But before that, I would like to invite, with a rousing applause, Ehememo Cultural Troupe to give us an interlude before the Right Honorable Speaker comes in. Please, let's show them. Please, let's give them another round of applause. The chairman of the museum committee is here, and he tells me that anytime he tried to do this dance. And gentlemen, others I would proceed to introduce our next speaker. Quite a lot of you have heard of his exploits. A lot of you know where he started from. But again, quite a number of you also don't know where he started from. I will not bore you with that long resume this morning, except to say that under him, this parliament has become a beacon of hope, particularly for other parliaments across the continent. Under him, this parliament has a new standing order. Under him, this parliament has increased the number of committees. Under him, the committees have been opened up to the media. Under him, we now have a Citizens Bureau. Under him, Parliament celebrated 30 years of parliamentary democracy. And for the first time, Parliament went around the 16 regions of Ghana. Under him, this Parliament has a new organogram for the parliamentary service. Under Speaker Bagbin, the Parliament of Ghana hosted the 66th Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference here in Accra. Aside that, this Parliament, again, under his leadership, hosted the Conference of Speakers and Presidents of African Parliaments. Under him, this Parliament has a new parliamentary museum. This he commissioned only last year. And ladies and gentlemen, the latest of his babies is the new Parliament TV. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to invite the Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin.
Please be seated. Please. Kindly indulge me to adopt the established protocols and to say Akwaba, Wezo, Marhaba. I returned from Niger yesterday. I was called to Niger on Friday and had to rush there to go and assist the transitional government to inaugurate a very important consultative council to lead them to draft a new constitution for them to move to multi-party democracy. I did that in the position as chair, as we've been told, of all the speakers and presidents of African legislatures, whether from Arabia or from Luxophone or Anglophone or Francophone, all of them I chair it. And I enjoyed their traditional dances. But it was just a replica of what we do here in Ghana. Just what they were displaying. And so they told me that Niger was my home. and not Ghana. And I agreed and told them a bit of the history. No wonder I'm called chartered historian. But let me apologize to all of you for the late start. I was here before 8:30 and kept on checking how many people were in. I was sad that our elders, our illustrious traditional leaders, civil society leaders, were here, and yet my own people were absent. This is part of corruption. The most valuable thing that God has given us is time. And so if you can manage that time, I don't know where you get to. And people have studied Ghana, and they know we are late starters. Many of you don't note these things. That was what the American football team used to beat us at the FIFA match. Because they know for the first how many minutes, our people are praying and walking around. You know, they are not decent. And in less than 2 minutes, if you recall, they scored. And that time, when the ball got to the defense, you saw our people were not prepared. We are late starters. We brilliant people, very rich in everything, well positioned in the world as the center of the whole world. We initiate things, and that's the end of it. And so many of the countries I visit, who came here and studied from us, have rather gone far ahead of us. Many, many areas. This is very worrying to me. Because corruption is not just about financial or monetary. It also includes the corruption of our values, our ethics. Corruption of the principles we hold dear. Even our identity. If you cannot market yourself, what value can be placed on you? Nothing. Yet we are very rich, but poor. Because we have not even been able to identify who we are. And what we have is treasure to the world. Yet we ourselves don't see it. That's one of the biggest challenges we have. You all clamor for us to develop. You use a word that I don't know who defined it. If people are looking for prosperity. No, that's not what God asks us to come and do. He wants us to be free and to be happy. All the others you do is just to get you the freedom and the happiness. For me, I can assure you, I'm very free and I'm very happy. And I'm satisfied with what I have achieved so far. So when I die, I'll have a smile in my mouth. That I'm very sure about it. Niger sends their greetings, and they agreed with me to come to understudy how far we've gone, and for us to share the days we started in '79, the pitfalls we went through, so that they don't repeat the same mistakes, and to learn from this, our constitutional reforms, which is ongoing. And so I don't want them to come here and see that we are rather behind them. Please out of the 400 national service personnel, when he mentioned only 12 were available. Have we started? What are you going to be? Waste all your lives blaming other people, not yourself. Please, this open governance partnership is to see to a change of our minds, the mindset and our attitudes. Very, very important. If we cannot reset ourselves, we cannot reset Ghana. It won't be possible. And so what we're going to do today, we don't want it to be the usual ceremonies. And I'll tell you some of the things we're doing to make sure that it will not be. And because I'm not everlasting, and I never want to be everlasting on earth, I know where I want to be everlasting. That's where God created, for us to be everlasting. And I'm sure to be there. Those of you who don't want to follow me there, that's your cup of tea. Truly, truly, we have not just me, people who have brought us this far. And our chairman, Honorable Emmanuel Bejra, he couldn't complete his chairmanship. He holds a lot. Even the Christian fellowship here, he is the chair. And all over, African Parliamentary Network Against Corruption, all those things on human rights, and all, he is just one of our pillars in Parliament. And anywhere he goes, he makes us proud. But how long is he going to be here? How long am I going to be here? How long are these good materials you see here, who are anchors of our democracy, how long are they going to be here? With a high attrition rate, many people praying that you die. So we need to do something to institutionalize this, to entrench it in our lives. And I'm going to say a few of the things. In fact, the keynote address has already been delivered. What the speeches that you heard are exactly what I'm going to say. Very rich delivery, covering the whole subject matter. I'll just draw your attention to a few perspectives, and particularly what civil society and private sector are going to do to support us to make sure that this is not one of the usual 9-day wonders. And so that's why you see all this with us. And in Parliament itself, I'll mention a few things we are doing. And so you see that our new partner, the MD of National Investment Bank, is here with us. And so every year, we have some source of funding. And that is what we should do to civil society, so that they don't have to depend from other people's taxes outside our country to do what they are doing. We are capable of doing that. We can do it as a people. We can. We have the resources. We have the men and the women. And really, today is a celebration. It is our day as parliamentarians. Every day of our lives deserves to be celebrated for the simple reason that we have been blessed with existence by our Creator. However, certain days call us not only to celebrate, but also to deeply reflect, enabling us to convert our experiences into priceless insights. Socrates, one of history's greatest sage philosophers, was right when he declared that, and I quote, "An unexamined life is not worth living." Inspired by this wisdom and truth, I can confidently say that our democracy has made remarkable strides. But we still have to always pause to examine it. My Ghana is not too good, but let me try to speak some small Ghana. As the Ghanaians express in their native tongue, "Wogbe keke." Wogbe keke. Which translates to, "We have come a long way." A sentiment that captures our journey in this Fourth Republic democracy and our progress in embracing inclusivity and diversity. In fact, I did a count of the ladies that are with us today. I'm so happy that we have this number. We have gotten to about 80 women present. And you leaders, if you don't move, the women will push you. The youth will push you to move. And you don't have that strength, they will take over. It's nothing but the truth. So we better sit up. But this day marks a very significant occasion in Ghana's democratic journey, as we observe what I just mentioned, self-introspection, as we inaugurate and also launch a trial. The first one is to observe, and we are observing the International Day of Parliamentarianism. And the second is to inaugurate, and that's the inauguration of the Ghana Open Parliament Steering Committee. And the third is to officially launch. We're launching the Open Parliament Action Plan. These three activities collectively reflect on the nation's progress in deepening democratic governance and promoting parliamentary openness. Celebrated annually on June 30th, under the auspices of the Inter-Parliamentary Union, I was part of that conference when we took the decision. The International Day of Parliamentarianism emphasizes the critical role parliaments play in translating the will of the people into inclusive laws, responsive policies, and accountable governance. We don't want to continue to pass laws that cannot be implemented. You just pass the law and the society sees that this law is foreign. It's not for us. It's not from us. It's not of us. And so they won't obey it. And there's not that political will, the leadership courage to implement the laws. We don't want that again. So this year's theme, achieving gender equality, action by action, challenges parliaments around the world, including Ghana's parliament, to adopt measurable and inclusive strategies that ensure gender equity in representation, participation, and leadership. The International Day of Parliamentarianism is worth celebrating, as it offers an opportunity not only to recognize and promote the achievements in strengthening democratic governance, but also to pause and reflect on the remaining gaps in effectively institutionalizing parliamentary democracy. Ghana's parliamentary democracy now, 32 years strong, the same age as myself in parliament, has achieved significant progress that cannot be overemphasized. I know the young ones are pushing me out. I read it every day in the social media that I've overstayed my welcome in this house. Don't worry. There's still a lot in me. Consistent, peaceful transfers of power, the promotion of good governance through transparent oversight tools, the passage of critical legislation to support economic and social development, and the empowerment of citizens to demand accountability from public institutions through the enactment of the Right to Information Act, among other measures. In Parliament itself, we have put in place audit committee, because I told the House that we must lead by example. Charity begins at home. And so all the accounts, since I became Speaker, we had an audit committee, not internal, external, led by the professionals. Internal agency, audit agency, and the professional associations. They are the people leading it, and they've audited and presented the reports. I have all the reports that I'll be presenting to the House, and we'll give them to civil society. There are some weaknesses they've identified for us to work on, and I want to assure you we'll make sure that we really implement those recommendations. So all these measures are testaments of the consolidation of the gains that we've made so far. This year's theme, Achieving Gender Equality, Action by Action, for the celebration of parliamentarianism, was aptly chosen to focus on the perennial problems facing most parliaments globally, namely a lack of female representation in parliaments. This is because lack of gender equality in most parliaments results in a shortage of gender-responsive legislators and policies, which fail to promote participatory democracy and inclusive development. A report published by the Interparliamentary Union in 2025, commemorating 30 years since the Beijing Platform for Action, indicates that over the 30 years of the Beijing Platform for Action, Ghana has only made 6.6% increment in women's representation in parliament. A very poor score. We started it during Nkrumah's time, where proactive step was taken by him for a law to be passed in parliament to bring 10 women into that parliament. Our colleagues learn from us. There are so many countries now in Africa that have passed over 30%. The data is there. This performance ranked Ghana 137th out of 168 countries assessed. Is that where we should be? In 1995, that is at the time of the Beijing Platform for Action, women representation in Ghana was only 8%. And by 2025, it had increased to only 14.6%. You see, you are like a tortoise. If we don't put fire under you, you will not move. I'm going to be one of the fire. And that is why always I remind His Excellency the President that this law we passed we are going to hold them to it. Nobody told the National Democratic Congress to also promise us the minimum of 30%. They did it voluntarily on their own accord. We assess you. If at the end of the day, we give you the targets, if you don't meet it, don't blame us for changing our loyalty. I'm a member, but I mean what I say. If you don't get the minimum 30, and then 35, and 50, Ghana, by 2034, please, we even ask our development partners to withdraw from wasting their time with you. They can't keep on spoon feeding you. It will be too much, eh? Wake up. You have everything here. What you have here, they don't have. Yet they tax themselves. Go and see your sons and daughters laboring outside and see what you enjoy every day here. They don't enjoy it there. And they rather pay for them to come and take care of you again. This is unacceptable. A critical examination of the report reveals that Ghana has fallen behind in terms of women's representation in parliament over the last 30 years compared to many of its African counterparts. The calls for purposive action from us to build institutional structures and create the right atmosphere for more women to come to parliament is really getting belated. Last year, the Affirmative Action Gender Equity Act 2024, and I met the LIPS, members of the LIPS. The leadership are here. That is Ladies in Parliamentary Service. And I made sure that they could all memorize the number of the act so that they keep on referring to it to hold us in government accountable. And I told them it's just to say 1121. That's the number of the act. Act 1121. So even if you cannot say Affirmative Action Gender Equity Act, just say Act 1121. And I was so happy that the women have taken the fight. For our women here, we have quite a number of them. Here we can say that we are very high there to take up and form an association of ladies in parliamentary service, which is very vibrant, very, very vibrant. In fact, they organized the cultural festival that we had here. The gentlemen are getting, I don't know whether I should say jealous or envious or whatever. I know. That's what we want. If you don't dominate your man, you'll never be happy. And you know you do it, only they don't say it. Because you take care of us in their house, everything. And the men, they all know. They only pretend. And so Act 1121 was passed to institute a phased quota for women in both private and public organizations. Parliament must lead by example by ensuring that the Act is effectively implemented by all political parties. We are not just looking at government, by all political parties, thereby encouraging more women to participate in the decision-making process. And that's where I want to call on all of you to please take time off your busy schedules and look at the constitutional reforms. There are things we have to put there to compel all these bodies to go by the rule of law, by making sure that from the onset, the women are well represented to be able to elect them to the decision-making processes. If we allow the parties to keep on playing partisan politics, we will never get there. Furthermore, there is a need to resource, strengthen, and elevate our Women's Caucus in Parliament, which plays a crucial role in promoting inclusive lawmaking and ensuring that gender perspectives are fully integrated into national legislative priorities. And that is why in Parliament here, all your delegations, I always insist that there's equity representation of women. The men complain because the women are only 40 out of the 275. The 276th person is still at Ablikuma. The person hasn't arrived yet. And so they are complaining that the women are getting opportunity to travel and go to other places to represent Parliament, and they are not getting it. Now who caused them? You are the same people who has caused it. You are already empowered, and you left them behind. There cannot be that kind of sharing of things equally in this Parliament. It won't happen. Maybe when I'm not there, it can happen. And so even when I had to rush to Niger on Friday, and I came yesterday, I had to take some ladies by force to Niger. Yes. And it was an admiration. The symbolism. I'm sure if I mention the person, you all understand why. My own daughter, Honorable Dr. Zanato Ajiman Rawlings. The mention of her name and the experiences they went through, because we have to share with them. This work we are doing is very sacrificial. Since I joined politics, I became the property of Ghana. That is what you offer to do. And you sacrifice your whole family, because you are not for the family again. You are for Ghana. And all successful politicians look at their family backgrounds, because you are an asset of the country. You can't continue to behave like you used to. There's a new code of conduct. There are rules of ethics you must go by. So as you are walking around in Accra, if your people are looking for a queen mother or a king, and they come and logo you to the village, your life has changed. You can't continue to behave like you were behaving in Accra. It's the same thing when you enter public service. When you enter a political office, you must change. You can't continue to be like before. And so her presence caused a lot. And I took her to the stage to speak. And she spoke. She is also the chairperson for our Committee on Security and Intelligence. So it's not only the political, but where they are being ruled by a 5-star general. And so they will realize that we take security and intelligence very seriously. And I do anyway. So please, we have to do everything to achieve what we are talking about. And that is why we have put in place measures to provide for the Women Caucus a dedicated budget, staff, and institutionalized involvement in legislative planning, because we believe that this will increase the influence of women in whatever we pass into law. And you know, it's translating policies into actionable, enforceable rules. That is what law is about. That's why I'm calling for the 24-hour economy to be brought to the House for us to debate it. It's a very key policy intervention. And we must own it, not any government or any party. And so it has to be brought to Parliament for us to debate it. And we see that some weaknesses are there, we strengthen them. If we see that it's not fit for a purpose, we reject it. That is what it should be. And I was missing in our country. Nobody will go there. So please, these are important matters. They are not partisan. No, they are meant to develop the nation. Additionally, nationwide civic education campaigns are necessary to foster public support for women's political participation. Multi-stakeholder collaboration among parliament, civil society, development partners, and academia should be deepened to provide technical support and empower female candidates. And so what we've done here is to link up with all the research institutions. And they have agreed to send research personnel on any area to Parliament. Whilst we try to build the institution itself, we now have ready source, current information, so that the decisions we take here are evidence-based. They are not the phantom of anybody's mind. I've linked up with the NCCE, the constitutional body empowered, legitimized to do civic education. And the chairperson is always with me. We are involving them in whatever we do, so that together with their offices, not only at the regional and the district levels, all over, we now have work to do. We're paying them, and there's not much, because their budget is nothing to write home about. Our civil society partners, you see them very, very active. In fact, they are driving this whole agenda. Civil society. It's just that we have given them the opportunity to operate. Well, what they know, we don't know it. And so we tap on their knowledge, on their expertise. And they are assessing us. PN Africa, every day, I don't sleep because I know Sami is always watching me. And he's marking me. And so they sent some questionnaire here for us to answer. And our officers did the answers, and they brought it to me. I had to add other things because they did not value those things. So I added it for them to see. If not, the first that we scored in 2022, we may not repeat it. And I don't want us to lose it. And for that one, if we lose that position, I will call for a remark. So we established structures, and we are prepared to fund them. Initiatives like the Citizens Bureau, the Citizens Bureau's office have already been mentioned, but we also have the public engagement, a whole department, and that is where we brought this young lady from retirement to come back to assist us. Superintendent Retired Efia Tengi. She is leading it. And then we also established the media relations, and we brought Mr. Damwa. I can't spot him. Where is he? Here at the back. To lead it. And then you've been told about the broadcasting. Yes, we mean business with the broadcasting, and we'll start broadcasting live. This year, we'll do it. And this time around, there will be no rule to focus on only the one speaking. It will be focusing on everybody. So you get to know how your MPs conduct themselves in Parliament. These are some of the things that we are putting in place, and we are going to very soon allow MPs to speak in their mother tongue. Very important. No society develops by using the language of another country. In fact, on Thursday, we're going to receive the Prime Minister of India to address our Parliament. And he's going to speak in Hindu. He's not going to speak in English. It's not that he can't speak English. Very good in English. But he will speak in Hindu. And so we have to get that technology you are talking about in place. And we have to get the personnel to be there to do the translation. Now, in Ghana so far, I have not located any of you that can speak Hindu. And so we may borrow from them. But we want our languages to be heard on the floor. And so we're going to start it very soon. It's captured in our standing orders. The new standing orders have captured it copiously for all MPs to use their mother tongue, provided they can simultaneously translate it to the official language of English. And so very soon, we'll be employing experts of these languages to come and support us as translators. We have also joined Francophonie. The parliaments in the French-speaking have their own, like the English-speaking with Commonwealth Parliamentary Association. They also have their association, and Ghana has joined it. And so I've spoken with the embassy to work with our Parliamentary Training Institute for us to establish classes, French classes. And if you don't know how to speak French, you won't go with me to their conferences. Hey, start upgrading your French. One of the qualifications for those who went with me to Niger was the ability to speak French. So all those who went there could speak some French, including our professor, the lady who teaches French here. What is her name? Bernadette. Bernadette. So she had the opportunity to go with me. So please, we mean what we are saying. Ladies and gentlemen, for emphasis, the International Day of Parliamentarianism has been planned to coincide with the inauguration of the Open Parliament Steering Committee and the launch of the Open Parliament Action Plan. This is both timely and strategic. It aligns with the country's ongoing efforts to deepen democratic governance. It is part of the broader Open Government Partnership, a multilateral initiative that promotes transparency, empowers citizens, combats corruption, and harnesses new technologies to strengthen governance. And I've already told you the steps we are making in that direction. AI and all those will come into place. and we are doing all to protect our system here. So very soon, this parliament will not be, even though open, it has to be secure and safe for you when you are here. And so there are a lot of things that we have to put in place to make that happen. And I'm talking seriously to the government that the ceremonial gate is for parliament. They cannot continue to be closing in at 6 when we are still in session. And we are all compelled to go through the back door. Chiefs don't enter the palace through the back door. Queen Mothers, is that what we do? And so I refuse to enter parliament through back door or exit parliament through back door. I will use the ceremonial gate. That is the decision I've taken, and that is what I'm practicing now. Please, if you talk about democracy, you can't have democracy without parliament. And so that one, I don't take it lightly. We ensure that it happens. Let me state clear that this parliament remains committed to the principles of OGP. It is in this spirit that we inaugurate the Open Parliament Steering Committee today and subsequently launch the Open Parliament Action Plan. These steps further mark the deepening of our OGP commitments, and I am confident in the strength and inclusivity of the steering committee's composition and its ability to deliver on its mandate. Having reviewed the Open Parliament Account Plan, I did myself, I read through it, I can affirm that it is a well-developed framework designed to ensure the full realization of our Open Parliament commitments. I read it, and I made some observations and comments. My staff know that I can edit a lot. Because if you hear that I'm asleep, then it's 3 a.m. I don't sleep early at all. I have only a few years to serve Ghana. After that, it's all there for me to be sleeping. So, and the everlasting sleep will come. So why you worry about sleeping? So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Open Parliament Action Plan is centered, as we've been told, on the 4 pillars. And I've taken you through the 4 pillars: the transparency, the accountability, the citizen participation, and you know, the last one being the technology and innovation. The OGP is driven by urgent need to address emerging challenges within the parliamentary space, including limited citizens' access to legislative processes, low levels of youth and gender inclusion, perceptions of inaccessibility, and gaps in follow-up on parliamentary decisions and reports. Recently, I met the clerk and the management team and gave them marching orders. All bills we get now, major documents, will have to be shared with all our partners to go through and make inputs. So the Bar Association should sit up, because we'll be giving them bills and we need their comments. We need their inputs. All other groups will be giving you, and the clerk is here. They will have to implement it, because I'll be monitoring and evaluating them based on that. And so, we don't want to leave anything undisclosed. Whatever we do here is the property of the people. They pay for it. They pay us to deliver the service. So they must know what they pay for. And that is why we are prepared to share all these things with you. This clearly reflects a shared commitment to address national challenges through stronger collaboration between government and citizens. As John F. Kennedy aptly put it, partnership is not mere posturing. It is an ongoing process defined not only by shared goals, but by a collective commitment to equality, aspiration, and a fervent passion that drives on forward. This is exactly what we are committed to. And as I conclude, I am filled with a deep sense of purpose and renewed hope for the future of parliamentary democracy in Ghana. This unique gathering has not only commemorated the International Day of Parliamentarianism, it has affirmed our collective commitment to strengthen the pillars of openness, accountability, and public trust in our democracy. Let me assure you that my departure will not have any effect. It will be a failure on my part if I don't grow the young ones to do better than I have done. That will be a failure of leadership. It's part of leadership to bring up successes that will outperform what you have done. And you can see what I'm doing with my deputy speakers. They can tell you for sure that these are not coincidental things. We sit down and plan, and I tell them to go and do 1, 2, 3, and they do it. They just don't follow what I say, but they add their own capacity in implementing what I say. And you can see how they are rising. I hope that you see value in them, and not after that go and jettison them and just introduce untested, untried. I won't add the other word. Hands. We need to grow our leaders. Leadership, yes, the theory is there. There are evidence that it can be born, but most of the time, you have to gorge it. And so that is what we are doing in this house. So this unique gathering has not only commemorated the International Day of Parliamentarianism, it has affirmed our collective commitment to strengthen the pillars of openness, accountability, and public trust in our democracy. To every member of parliament, let the spirit of openness inspire in all your work. And to every Ghanaian, this is your parliament. This is your home. Any of you that is feeling threatened or your rights being abused, this is the place you can get to. And when we move there with our, what you are carrying, the traditional symbol there, ours is what? The maize. When we carry our maize to that place, and the instruction is that the speaker says, will you come and place it there? There's no authority in Ghana above that maize. They will obey. That is what parliamentary democracy is about. We are the protector of your human rights. And that is why when they want my members and my staff, they write to me to release them. And I just don't release them to call on your MP to come. And so if the MP hasn't got additional, that is the basis for the privileges and immunities of members of parliament and parliament itself. It's like the judges, when they give their ruling, even if they are wrong, you can't hold them for any offense committed. You only have to appeal. And so we have our own. Don't just see it as if MPs have been given some special rights to misbehave. No, they are not above the law. And anytime I see that the MP is trying to misapply it, I just give them to the agents, security agents, to investigate and prosecute. And a number of them are being prosecuted. To every member of parliament, as I said, let the spirit of openness inspire all your work. And to our brothers and sisters Ghanaians, this is your parliament. This is your home. The success of open governance depends on your active participation. Seize the opportunities being created. Use the right to information law to demand transparency. That is one of the areas we marked down. And so we've established the office. We are strengthening it. They ask for information and reply giving reasons. I will not tolerate that one. I won't accept any reason. Even if the person could get it from the Ministry of Finance, if we have it here, what prevents her from giving it to them? I will not allow that. We will open our doors to you. Come in with the light and let people have trust in what we do here. It's very, very important. So seize the opportunities being created and use the law to demand transparency. Engage your MPs and Parliament. Partake in community forums. It is your responsibility to hold your leaders at every level to the high standards we expect and deserve. Let us recommit ourselves to building a Ghana where our Parliament is acclaimed as the most open, accountable, and responsive in Africa. A Ghana where every citizen feels a genuine sense of ownership and belonging to the government. It's not just the people we elect to be there. We are all part of the government. I am a member of the International Council of Political Renewal, and we hold meetings from country to country. Just in Niger, when I raised it, and I gave them a bit of a lecture, my colleagues, ministers, speakers said they want to come to the school I've established in Ghana. Yes, I've established an institute. And we're going to open it to all of them so that we can go through these things together. Ghana cannot develop in isolation without the other countries in Africa. And we have to go together. The story I got there, you know, they take their goods mostly from Ghana. The long tracks, articulated tracks that destroy all our roads, go as far as Niger. They are mostly driven by Ghanaians. And since the Sahel is not in peace, our drivers are in pieces. Yes. When I was there, I was showing the pictures of the number of trucks that were hijacked, bent, and the drivers killed. So these things we are doing, it's not just the usual business. No. It's something serious. You sit here, you don't know. Your children are involved in all this. And Ghanaians are just interested in coming to a ceremony and talking, and going home to sleep. It's another day. I saw it myself. On this note, ladies and gentlemen, I inaugurate the steering committee and officially declare the Open Government Partnership Parliamentary Action Plan duly launched. just going to mention the members.
Yes. May I respectfully ask the Honorable Emmanuel Kwesi Bejra, he is the chair of the OGP caucus. Please come up here. The Honorable Alexander Kwesi Akwa, Vice Chair. Mr. Ebenezer Ahuma Jetro, Clerk to Parliament. Mrs. Esther Poku Edohine, Programs Manager, Commonwealth Human Rights Initiatives. Mrs. Matilda Ayamga, Programs Advisor, NOSAC. Dr. Michael Augustus Akabo, Programs Manager, CDD Ghana. Mr. Jerry Sam, Executive Director, PEMPLUS Bytes. Mr. Samuel Obeng, Executive Director, Parliamentary Network Africa, and Mrs. Efia Tenge, Director, Public Engagement and Secretary to the committee.
Well, here we have the members of the Open Parliament Steering Committee. I will, at the appropriate time, when we're going to hold a meeting, because I'll always be present, I will swear them in there. But here, I'm just to introduce them to you. They are your people. They are to ensure that we implement all what I have said, and they themselves have stated. If we are able to do that, you can be sure that Ghana will develop. Because there will be no power above the power of Parliament. And the power of Parliament is the power of the people. This brazen impunity called corruption will hold them, and people will run away from it. I've told my friends internationally that they are even more corrupt than us, because they are the recipients of the proceeds of corruption from Africa. If there is no place for you to sell stolen goods, you will not steal anything. But once they provided that place, then our people, through other means, always go and do what they do there. But they really admired it. But you know, if you are using the policy of America first, then you know what that means. So I will thank all of them for accepting to lead this whole crusade. And on your behalf, I want to call on the Almighty God to bless the Parliament of Ghana, to bless all our stakeholders, and particularly the good people of Ghana, and to make our homeland great and strong. Copies are available, and I'm sure some representation will be given. We can't give to everybody, but it's important that you get copies and then you go through. Thank you so much for your patience, your attention, and your commitment. God bless you all. Thank you. Oh, he wants me to emphasize that I'm the chair. I've already stated it. That will always be there to ensure that it is done. So at least I accept that I'm the chair. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Please, let's keep clapping for the speaker. I don't condone corruption, and it's important that none of us here will attempt to do so. when you deserve it, you ought to be given. And so, Sammy, something that is yours, there's no way somebody should be able to take it away from you. And so, team for you, team for you, team for you, we are going to win this time round again. I can assure you. Ladies and gentlemen, I would want to acknowledge a few dignitaries that we have here. Let me acknowledge our traditional rulers or leaders who are here. I would like to acknowledge the presence of Nigbese. Nigbese is here with us this morning. Nigbese Manche. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Na Oboshi Duamomo Yedura the first, and Naho Manye. She's also here. Okay. Na Koyo Ajoyi the first is also here with us. Thank you very much for your time this morning. I would announce Na Denswa Efriye the second, Queen Mother. We also have Manye Na Badu Adiagba the first. We have Manyena Bokele Odina the first, Nungwa Mahian. Manyena Bokele Yoha Adiagba, Nungwa Brigadier. Manyena Osanyara, okay, Osanyara. Ni Boyfio We. And then we have Na Abba Ashawa Abola Manye. Please let's show some love. Abola Manye. We have a few honorable members of parliament here with us as well. Earlier we had the first deputy speaker, the Honorable Bernard Ahiafo, who has asked permission to attend to other events elsewhere. The second deputy speaker is here with us, the Honorable Andrew Esiamwamwako. Thank you very much for your time. I've already acknowledged the clerk to Parliament, Mr. Ebenezer Huma Jetro, the minister responsible for public sector reforms, the Honorable Lydia Lamisi is also here with us. The Honorable Emmanuel Kwesi Bedra, chairman of the OGP and the Member of Parliament for Ho West. Mrs. Mary Ada is also here with us. She addressed us a while ago. Mrs. Thelma Ohene Siama, National OGP Focal Point Contact Person, is also here with us. Mr. Samuel Obing, Executive Director, PN Africa, here with us. Mr. Prosper Huetu, he is the former head, Citizens Bureau, former Director, External Support Office of Parliament, here with us as well. Members of the Open Parliament Steering Committee, who have already been introduced to you by the Right Honourable Speaker. The members of the OGP caucus in Parliament, if they are here, let's show by hands. Let's see all of you. Thank you. Mrs. Shelley Ann Fiagome, she's a former coordinating director, ICT and Publishing Subdivision. Yes. We also have from NIB, the Miss Mary O. Brefo, head corporate, Judith Anum, also with NIB, Helena Minekbo, and then Khadija Musa, customer service. Please, let's see you and acknowledge you appropriately. We have the MD here with us who led this very strong delegation. MD, please, he has already been introduced by the Right Honorable Speaker. Yes, we have the Deputy Majority Leader, Honorable Ricketts, also here with us. Right. We have a number of civil society organizations who are here with us from CDD. Let's see representatives from CDD. Okay. We have also from Foundation for Environmental Watch. Foundation for Environmental Watch. Let's see you. The Ghana Anti-Corruption Coalition. Let's see you. Okay. The Center for Local Governance, also here with us. IDEC, NOSAC, PEMPLUS Bytes, Parliamentary Network Africa, Human Rights Reporters Ghana, Youth Network Alliance, Youth Bridge Foundation. Please, let's have all the civil society organizations. Let's please rise and let's acknowledge you. All the civil society organizations here. Right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please resume your seat. We have representative from Information Services Department. Are they here with us? Representative from Information Services Department. We have National Commission for Civic Education. Are they here? NCCE. Okay. And then we have the Accra Rich Church Women's Fellowship. Where are they? Okay. All right. If I've mentioned the Women's Fellowship, let me also acknowledge Ladies in Parliamentary Service, LIPS. Please rise and let's acknowledge you. LIPS, all LIPS members, please, let's see you. LIPS, Mr. Speaker, your patron is here. Thank you. Now, I announced a while ago that sometime in March this year, there was an essay competition which was organized as part of this year's Commonwealth Day celebration. And we had a number of tertiary institutions that took part in this exercise. I would like to acknowledge all of them who took part, and then we will invite the 3 winning institutions to receive their award. I would invite Miss Jessica Mensah to join me here for this part of the exercise. So, our Youth Parliament from the University of Ghana, let's see you. Please, I want rise and let's all acknowledge you. University of Ghana, thank you very much for coming. UDS, UDS, are they here? That's 2 of them. UDS, okay, good. Heritage Christian University, Heritage Christian University, are they here with us? Okay, good. Then we have Islamic University, Islamic University. Okay, do we have UNIMAC here? UNIMAC, okay. So, so Miss Jessica is ready with to announce to you who these 3 winning institutions are. The MD of NIB is here. If he leaves, we can't do this part of the program. Yes.
Right, Honorable Speaker, the Second Deputy Speaker, leadership, clerk to Parliament, esteemed dignitaries, and most importantly, our brilliant students. All protocols observed. It is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today as the lead judge for the Commonwealth Day Essay Competition held on March 2025. It is not for anything that we are being recognized on the International Day of Parliamentarianism, a day not only to underscore the importance of parliamentary democracy, but also providing a unique platform for young minds to reflect on and engage with the principles that shape our legislative institutions. Right, Honorable Speaker, ahead of the Commonwealth Day commemoration on March 11, 2025, student parliamentarians across the country were made to submit essays on the theme, the future of work and innovation, how automation and digital transformation reshaping industries, preparing the youth for the work of the future. We received 9 thoughtful entries from various tertiary institutions. I'm pleased to report that the participating students demonstrated exceptional thought, creativity, depth of knowledge in their writing. Their essay offered interesting perspectives on the challenges facing our society and explored how automation and digital transformation are poised to influence the future of work. After a thorough and impartial evaluation by the panel, I'm here today to present the performance scores of all participants. Each submission was assessed based on clarity, originality, structure, relevance to the theme, and overall impact. Before announcing the top 3 performers, let me take this opportunity to commend every institution that participated. Whether or not you have received any award today, your dedication to this meaningful exercise is admirable and deserves our collective appreciation. In recognition of your commitment and enthusiasm, each participating institution will receive a certificate of participation and a token of appreciation. Your voices matter, and your contribution to this event are valued. Now for the moment we all have been waiting for, the announcement of the top 3 performers. In the third place, we recognize the institution whose essay was deeply thoughtful and well articulated, showing great promise in policy thinking. Second place, we honor the institution whose piece demonstrated critical insight, originality, and compelling call to action. And then in the first place, we celebrate the institution whose essay stood out for its clarity, depth of understanding, and inspiring vision for using technology to transform industries. Each of these 3 institutions will receive a certificate of excellence and a special prize in recognition of their outstanding contributions. Let me extend my heartfelt congratulations to our winners and to all participants. Thank you for embracing this opportunity to express your ideas and engage with the democratic process. Your effort inspires us all. I now invite the representative of the institutions to come forward and receive their certificates and awards. Okay, so for the second runner-up award, it will be presented by the second Deputy Speaker, Honorable Andrew Esiama Amwaku, Member of Parliament for Fomina. And so the second run-up school. Yes. Go ahead. Okay. So the second run-up school is Islamic University College, Dan. And then they are getting certificates of appreciation and a sum of 8,000 Ghana. 8,000 Ghana cedis. Yes.
Please, let's show some love. Let's show some love. Islamic University, second runner-up. Excellent job. 8,000 Ghana cedis, a certificate to accompany this award.
And this wonderful gift is coming from NIB. So please appreciate NIB.
Thank you very much, NIB. Please, you can show some love for NIB. Thank you. Thank you so much. We have the MD, Dr. Dakura, also here with us. Thank you so much, Islamic University. Indeed, you have made all of us proud. Thank you. Please, you may resume your seat.
So for the first runner-up, the Managing Director of National Investment Bank will present it. Dr.
Doliwura.
Abdul Malik Seidu Zakaria.
Thank you. Dr. Doliwura Awushi Abdul Malik Seidu Zakaria is the MD of NIB, the National Investment Bank, and he is going to be presenting the award for our first runners-up.
And the school is University of Ghana.
The Premier University. The Premier University. The Premier University is going away with a certificate and an amount of 10,000 Ghana cedis. Please, you can show some more love. University of Ghana. National Investment Bank. National Investment Bank, we're so grateful to you. University of Ghana for making us proud. You are going away with 10,000 Ghana cedis from the National Investment Bank. Please, the check. Because you are not getting some, you don't want to clap for them. Please clap for them. Thank you.
And then, okay. So for the winners.
So you now, if you look, who do you think will win? Who do you think will win? Mr. Speaker is here.
So for the winners, we have University of Development Studies, Tamale Nyampara.
There you have it. There you have it. There you have it. There you have it.
The speaker. Okay, so the campuses are Tamale and Nyankpala campus, and then the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Speaker Alban Smana Kingsford Bagbin, will present it for you.
So, without the ladies, they could not have written this essay. Okay, so the Right Honorable Speaker will present this award, an amount of 12,000 Ghana cedis.